Well, we're here with Stephan from Vulture, the fantastic fucking heavy metal band out of Germany, right?
Yeah,
All right. So I'm really digging this latest album, Sentinel. It's it hits you fast, like opens up like boom, and those twin guitars like just help take you on that journey, excuse me, through the entire album.
thank you,
Great,
man. That's
great fucking
great to
job.
hear. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I don't know a lot about the band personally.
Yeah.
So, how did how did the band come together?
This all started like now it's already more than 9 years ago, I think. No, it's pretty much 9 years ago.
Okay.
With me leaving a former thrash metal band I played in, and I was very certain right away that I need another one because this has always been like my music and the music I feel most home in. So I was right away pretty sure that I want to continue this music and started looking for people around and quickly found my best buddy Andreas for the bass, my friend Leo for vocals, and Mattis, which back then I started to know from university. And yeah, then we kind of mapped out what kind of band we want to be, and decided to go down the more American approach of thrash metal, and to combine that with the proto heavy metal stuff, the classic heavy metal stuff, like if you want to name the obvious, like Priest, Maiden, yeah, Diamond
Yeah.
Head, all those names. Yeah, then we started out and pretty quick did our first demo, Victim to the Blade. Got signed to Herola Records, did our first record, The Guillotine, and then luckily got signed by Metal Belt Records. And here we are now, 9 years later, with our fourth, fourth record already, having a great
Yeah.
time.
Hell yeah. Well, it sounds really good. I like it, right? Because I don't know. I'm almost 50. So I right growing up with Maiden and Priest and
Yeah, yeah,
Creator and all of that. It's
yeah.
like I really like that there's almost like a resurgence in the last 10, 15 years of a lot of that,
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
sounding heavy metal.
Yeah, definitely. Like in the early 2000s, here, especially in Germany, has been a lot of stuff going on, and like a whole new scene came together back then. And there are still a lot of bands from that era still active, still around over here. But also right now, and in the last 5, 6, 7 years, you're absolutely right. There's so much new bands popping up, and it's great to see that there still is interest in this kind of heavy metal. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's
Yeah,
fantastic for people who love it, right? It's like, hell
Mhm.
yeah.
Absolutely,
I love
absolutely.
I love the bottles you guys have over there. They're different than what we have over here.
It's just lemonade, though. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Like it's just the shape of the bottle
Yeah, it looks great. Huh?
for sure. Um, so how long did it take you guys to write and record the current album?
Longer than usual because we took more time. When we got signed to Metal Blade, we felt like a lot of pressure to perform and to, I don't know, all the trademarks that we had back then already in our music and in our approach to over exaggerate them. And that led to an album that, I don't know, like Ghastly Waves, the first record we did with Metal Blade. I don't feel too comfortable with that record anymore. It's very, sounds, to me, to my ears, sounds too much of everything. And then with the second one, with Dealing Death, we try to go down like a safer path, and we're like very careful to not over exaggerate it too much and slowed it down a bit and played a bit the safe card here and there. And also that was something I said, this is not 100% us. So this time we said, okay, let's I don't know, act like we're a demo band and don't have like a discography at all, and start writing new songs and demo track them. And during the Corona pandemic, I got a bit into this mixing recording thing, and it felt like a lot of fun. So I wanted to try that out, and yeah, we did a total of 3 demos done over the course of 2 years, I think. And yeah, wrote 14 tracks, and then we're able to pick our favorites and say, okay, these 11 tracks will make it to the new record, and that's was a fantastic approach. I think we'll definitely continue this. It's amazing to also put songs to the test over the course of a few years. Say like, okay, we recorded that 2 years ago. Let's give it a listen and see if it still works for us, or if we need to rewrite stuff or something. That's amazing. We never did that.
Yeah. Well, it's a really unique way for that reason particularly, right? Like you go in, you record demos 3 times and it's like, oh, yeah, that still sounds really really good and crisp.
Yeah,
Let's,
yeah,
let's keep that. That's awesome.
yeah.
So, from a writing standpoint, is there a song on the album for you that really like jumps out as like, man, this one, this is my favorite song to play or listen to?
There's a few that I really dig. Um, I think Unheld and Forgotten, even though I've listened to it like quite a lot of times now. It's been the first single. We did a video for it, so you're forced to listen to it like a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I think this combines perfectly what we are in the end. So Unhallowed and Forgotten, I really like the title track because it has this I don't know, accept moment to it. And if I had to pick like a third one that I really dig, I think I would go for maybe Screams from the Abattoir because it's so simple and so straightforward.
It's
Or maybe,
it's
or
such a
maybe,
fantastic opening track too.
yeah, right. It's by far the quickest number we ever wrote, and but it works super well. It's a perfect opening for all things to come. And maybe if I had to pick like a more melodic one, I'd go for Realm of the Impaler because it has this heavy metal side of Vulture shining through a lot.
All tremendous, tremendous tracks, you know. The album as a whole, as a collective piece of art, is just fantastic from start to finish. I think it's got great production. I really like how the songs flow right into each other, and
Mhm.
it just it just takes you on a journey
Perfect. Yeah.
like you want to run and fucking jam all day.
That's a great compliment, man. Thank you.
No, thanks for putting it out. I like
Yeah.
absolutely enjoy it. What so run us through your rig. Like what do you play live?
Oh, I'm so gonna disappoint you. I have a camper profiler with me. I don't have a rig at all. I'm just having a profiler. Like we had Marshall amps when we started out and used them for many years, and we suck at dialing them in. We suck at tweaking them. We had so many gigs where people came to us afterwards and said, "Oh, the guitar tone sucked." And we knew we because we just not that good at it or weren't. Maybe right now we were able to
Yeah.
do it better. So we got our hands on a profiler, and once the record was done, for example, right now we got the tone from the album straight into the profiler, and no matter if we're gonna play Wacken open air or we're gonna play a small pub somewhere in town, we were always gonna sound the same. So we went for that, and was the best decision ever for us because we don't need to worry anymore about any guitar tone. We just have that
That's
ugly thing with us, but it's doing a perfect job.
I mean that's what, at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? Like
Yeah, absolutely,
it
absolutely. And there is of course there are obstacles on the way when you want to do it, but there is people keep saying like you're gonna hear the difference so much. This is like no, you're not. If you are able to do a good profile and also for the record, the amps we recorded they're digital. We didn't use proper amps and for the record. Nobody's gonna able to tell the difference, and it's 2024 by now.
yeah.
I'm not up for that discussion. It's yeah.
Yeah.
I get the romantic idea of having a great amp, and I like it as well, and I really think about getting one as well again. But in when it comes to tone, it does not matter at all.
That's I think that's a fair statement. I I can't say I'm a purist, but I obviously enjoy, traditional amps
Yeah,
and what have you. But
yeah,
I understand like getting a profiler and making that really, really work for you.
yeah, absolutely. It's
So what?
comfortable. It's
Yeah,
comfortable. We're gonna play Portugal on Friday. We're just gonna get those things in the plane and sound the same. That's
yeah,
it's such a great thing.
yeah. Probably a lot less equipment you got to take with you, huh?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Good
What
for my
about?
back as well.
Oh yeah, I imagine. Speaking of your back, what kind of guitar do you play?
Ironbird. We all play Ironbirds. Mattis also got a Mockingbird few years ago, but on stage we all play red BC Rich Ironbird. Andreas also got a red Ironbird bass that looks pretty cool. Before we played Ibanez Destroyer guitars, but then we switched to the great romantic BC Rich red Ironbird, looking
Yes,
amazing.
I just saw someone I know opened up a new guitar store and he had all these BC Rich hanging up, and I was just like, oh my God, that, going back to like the traditional heavy metal, or the old school heavy metal, that's that's what everyone played, you're like, shit, I remember as a kid, I want a BC Rich, I want the Warlock, I want, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
It was always super cool.
yeah, exactly, definitely.
So, um, you guys essentially coming up on 10 years as a band. Is there like a band that you all have played with where you're like, man, this was so fucking awesome. I never thought we'd do that.
Yeah, definitely. We like we've been on a run for two times now with Exciter. That's been absolutely thrilling because obviously Exciter are a huge influence for us, and especially like when you meet Dan Bieler and you find out he's not only like the legend Dan Bieler, but also like a great guy. That was a fantastic moment. We had so much fun together, listened to cool old stories, were able to tell our own stories, and they were interested. That was amazing. And throughout the years, there were many bands we played with where we thought, oh, that's absolutely amazing. That's so cool. Never thought we are gonna do that. Like for example, playing Wacken open air and being like we went there and thought, okay, we're gonna be like one of the lowest numbers here, and let's just get it done and have a great weekend. But the amount of hospitality we got there and the way we've been treated was amazing. Like this was the everybody was so professional and everybody was so nice, and yeah, this was amazing. I won't forget that. I think yeah, but I if I had to name like a meeting with a band or something, or that would definitely be exciting.
Right on. That's super cool. So I really enjoy hearing about bands meeting people that they've always looked up to, and that person like not only meeting but exceeding those expectations as,
Yeah, yeah,
being just a real cool person,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's also for us. This was the best. Yeah,
Yeah. Hell yeah. You're like, oh shit, hold on, I'm an equal.
yeah, yeah. That doesn't
Yeah.
have doesn't that doesn't happen like all the time.
Right, right. Well, that the old saying is don't don't meet your idols, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're going to be
Exactly.
disappointed. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Seems it's almost a little more fluid across like the metal genres, people meeting their idols, and those idols are the people they looked up to, just being super super cool,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Happens often, yeah. But
Yeah.
also you get to meet people that you wish you didn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's just how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so many with the people you wish you didn't. It's more
Yeah,
like, oh, that was
yeah,
really cool.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
So, um, so far in your career, what has been your favorite show to play? Like a favorite show memory that just jumps out at you?
Oh, there have been a lot of great shows that have been great for several reasons. I think Wacken was great because of the size, obviously, and because of the way everything went so well. And if I have to think of, I don't know, cool club shows, I'm thinking back to playing London Live Evil 2016 that was amazing, or playing Sweden for the first time in 18 for the Abyss Festival that has been absolutely amazing. I think the best concerts are always where the crowd is there and is wild and people are young and are enjoying themselves, and when people are having a great time, it's you can spot it right away, and you know you're gonna have a great, a very good show. And this happens quite often. I don't know, we played like for the release last week, we played a show in Essen, and that was also like one of these shows where people were just hungry and wanted to see it, and you feel comfortable right away and just can focus on having a great time and don't think too much. Those are the best shows.
Hell yeah. Yeah. For the crowd, I feel like it's the best shows too, right? When everyone's just super into it. You go,
Yeah,
you have a good time. It's like a big family. Everyone's there for the same reason. Let's just jam out.
yeah, exactly. Where you don't have to, yeah, when you just feel it and don't have to make yourself feel it in some
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. There's no outside world. You're just
Yeah,
really there for the moment,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely. Yeah.
So how many people does Wacken typically get?
Like the total amount of people is like I think 80,000.
Phew.
Yeah, but we didn't play in front of 80,000 people, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's very big. It's very, very big.
Yeah, that's I think that for me that's one of those festivals that I want to make it to one day.
Yeah, I've been there as a fan once. That's what it's like 16 years ago was my first festival, and it was too big for me as a fan. I was feeling like, oh my God, I need to walk so many kilometers I before I go anywhere.
Yeah.
And but as a musician, it's obviously way more comfortable.
Yeah, you don't have to walk.
Yeah,
You're like,
you have to walk over but there is special ways for other. That's there's shortcuts everywhere. That's amazing.
yeah. I think we've got so I think our North America's largest metal festival is Louder Than Life.
Hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, last year we crested 180,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was there was one point where I was like, "Oh my God, I'm in VIP doing one of these numbers." Like,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't,
Enjoy yourself.
yeah, yeah, like I don't want to be here like this. Like
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
a lot of good, a lot of good bands though. This year I think they've got Slayer is doing
Hmm.
one of three
Hmm.
reunion shows, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
weird and cool.
yeah. Very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, they're what 5 years since they
Yeah,
retired.
yeah.
Of course, Priest will be there, which is super,
Hmm.
super cool.
Hmm.
So for you, like early on, what was there a concert that you attended that you just like was like, shit, that's what I want to do when I grow up?
Uh, yeah, might be like a small local one with local bands. The first proper concert I went to was Cannibal Corpse,
Hmm,
and that was absolutely amazing. I was so blown. I was like, I don't know, 15 back then. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it was the Kill Tour, and I was just watching Webster's fingers throughout the whole set, and then they when the show was done, they were still there and talking to the people, and I just went there and just the only thing I could say was like, "You're amazing," and then I walked out. That was very inspiring for me to see, because that was the first time I saw an actual big band.
yeah.
And then I don't know, like seeing Sodom a few times when I was young was definitely might have been the most clicking shows.
Ah, that's one band I haven't seen that I
Yeah,
really,
they don't play America too often, huh?
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
so but
like, ah, come
yeah,
on,
Sodom, so, but it's definitely in my top five list.
right on. So who else is in your top five?
Slayer, obviously, Priest, obviously, and Exodus for Bonded by Blood, and I don't know if I had to pick one right now. I'd probably go with Power Lord. Do you know Power Lord? They have like one
Mm,
record. It's a US power speed thrash band, and
okay.
they managed to write. It's just one record. It's more like an EP than a proper album in the end. And they managed to write super simple music that still has this US power metal vibe to it. I love it. You should. The Awakening by Power Lord is one of the best records ever.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, do it.
That's
Do it.
I love hearing new music. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
perfect.
things. You know, you hear a new band and you're like, "Oh shit, they're so good."
Yeah.
One of my favorites. So, you know, aside from them, are there other bands that uh that you're listening to right now where you're like, "Man, I wish more people knew about them?"
Yeah, of course. Like uh right now I'm listening. There is this for example. There's I'm listening to a lot of demo bands from back then, and there are some where I think they should absolutely have done an album but never did. Like there is one band called Betrayal. They did two demos or something in '84 or '85. Uh, well, it's always tough to pick one right away. But
Yeah.
this one definitely Blessed Death. I love Blessed Death. Nobody listens to Blessed Death. Absolutely amazing as well. Those are maybe two I'd pick right now. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Now I got to go dig into them. Gosh, good problems to have, you know. Um, I feel like now in the uh current music just as a whole, we have so many good bands overall. I feel like music now is better than it's ever been for obviously for a multitude of reasons, right? Like we get to grow up with we get I guess most of those bands are influenced by all of the bands that the bands previously were influenced by, right?
Yeah, 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 absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So, um, as far as guitar players go for you, who's your like, say, top three?
I always have been more into bands than musicians, and I've always been more into riffs than solos. So I've never had like a childhood hero guitar player or something. If I had to pick one back then, I would probably go with Mike from Destruction for those wicked riffs, and I'd definitely go with Hanneman uh, for for creating this sound in the
Slayer.
end. I think all by himself,
Yeah,
maybe.
pretty
And
close to it for sure.
yeah, and maybe super obvious, I'd go with Gary Holt as well because he had his signature riff right away when he did Bond by Blood. There are so many things on there where I say this is Gary Holt, this is him, and not having this on the first record is wicked.
Yeah.
And there is a small amount of other bands I think where you could say that they had a definite style with their first record, and also the soloing is amazing. I'd go with these three. I'm not too much into the big names. I'm not too much interested in all those guitar heroes and all those I don't know. This always felt like so far away from me because I always thought like I'm never gonna be able to play this fast. So why should I care? And that's why I always went with the riff guys.
Well, I think a lot of times like the rhythm players are not uh they're not as respected as they should be, right? Like
Yeah, I think so too.
Eric Peterson and Testament is
Yeah, amazing.
he's a fantastic guitar player, and Gary Holt obviously with Exodus and then translating that into Slayer was like holy shit, like just a phenomenal guitar player, like one of those guys you feel like, well, I feel like I could watch him play all fucking day and never get tired of it, you
Yeah,
know?
maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So as far as you guys, what tour plans do you all have coming up?
We had a big one. We had 2.5 weeks of South America waiting for us, and then the promoter died. It's a super sad story. He died like few weeks ago, and the tour would have been in a few weeks, so that got canceled, obviously, and that pretty much blew all our plans for the year because we're all working, we're all like forced to take holidays and stuff and have family and whatsoever. And well, right now we're trying to make most of the year, nevertheless, and try to play as many cool Europe shows, do some weekenders, and maybe work something out for the end of the year and postpone all the big plans to next year. Sucks a bit, but it is what it is. We've never been like a big touring band. Like when we started, we've already all been in jobs, and we're never able to say, okay, like we're gonna go to university for 2 more years and start the touring thing. So we only toured like once properly, and all the other stuff have been like 1 week or weekenders or extended weekends or whatsoever. So it doesn't hurt too much, but nevertheless, we would like to tour again, obviously,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of fun, and hope we'll be able to do so next year.
Okay. Well, here I am hoping for some US dates.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Be fantastic.
So many people writing like you should play US, and we feel like we definitely want to play. But there has so far, at least as far as I know, there has been no offer. Maybe they maybe will change with Sentinels.
Do you guys have a booking agent over
Yeah,
here?
yeah. No. We don't. We have only one for Europe. Yeah, might be something to tackle. We'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah,
Yeah. Because like
yeah.
I'll get you guys to come play my city and I'll give you a place to stay. Like I think, I feel like over here in the States that your sound would do really good live for, in a lot of the markets that we have.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
I think so too. If I'm able
yeah,
to say that, I think so too.
yeah, yeah. So now we just got to get more people to dig you so we can get you over here.
Yeah. If you according to Spotify, most of our listeners come from the US.
Oh,
Yeah,
rock and roll.
yeah,
See, now you got no reason. We got to hurry up and get
yeah,
you over here.
definitely.
So what do you do for work outside of the band?
I'm a social worker.
Oh,
Yeah, and Mattis is as well. Andreas is doing chemical stuff. Herion is a drum teacher, obviously, and Leo is working at a place. I don't know what the English term for his job is. Yeah. So, but we all do this now for many years already, and have adjusted our lives to the benefits of having a good job, and are not willing to trade that anymore.
yeah. No, I get it. There's when you're a teenager and probably early 20s, it's you have
Yeah,
the romance of
yeah,
being a big touring band and
yeah,
sleeping in the
definitely.
van or doing
Yeah,
whatever, and then
yeah,
there comes that point where you're like, okay, that I got to worry about like actually making a living and eating and doing all that stuff.
definitely. Fun times are over.
Yeah. No, they're not. They're just
Nah, not at
a
all.
little
Not at all. Not at all.
just a little more sparse. So is there a place like what's your favorite place to play over in Europe as far as club goes?
There is so many great clubs. So like I'm living in Dortmund in the Ruhr area in Germany, and there is great clubs all over the area. Like if I had to pick one, I'd go with the Two Rock in Essen. That's like super infamous over here. There is in Berlin. There's one called Urban Spree. That's absolutely cool. Where I always like to be because it's like a place where heavy metal and punk meets, and that's always cool for the tension and for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And here in Dortmund, we have one called the Junkyard that just looks like a junkyard. That's also super cool to play. There's we are blessed with a fantastic active heavy metal scene, and there are so many great concerts over here. You can go to a heavy metal concert like every third day over here where I live, and that's we're absolutely blessed to live here. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think we get like we'll have two or three a week. So I guess pretty comparable, but one night there will be like five shows and you're like, oh, which one do
Yeah,
I
where
go
do I
to?
go? Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, there's a there's a really good like crossover band out of where are they out of? The Netherlands, I think, called Veloza.
And I've not heard. No, I'm not
Oh,
familiar with that.
there so I guess the latest single, Bankrupt the Republic.
Okay.
Uh I feel like you would dig them a lot. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, tremendous band. Like I heard it and was like, holy shit, that's good, because you think, I mean, I think a lot of people collectively go, good bands are all, you know, I'm gonna say big, but looking at tens or hundreds of thousands of plays on Spotify,
Yeah.
and so some of those smaller ones they don't really give a chance to.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Veloza is one of those bands where it's like, man, just
I
so
gotta check.
fucking good.
Gotta check it out.
Yeah,
From the Netherlands.
yeah, yeah. Velozza.
VELOCCA. I'm gonna check it out afterwards.
Rock and roll. Yeah. Um, I had Rob the drummer,
Hmm.
Rob Van Leeuwen, on a few weeks ago. Super
Hmm.
nice dude. And the music is just it's so fucking good. Like, yeah. So, prior to Vulture, what what bands were you in that what bands were you in?
Yeah, many. I tried a lot of stuff before I don't know got where I wanted to be. And I started out with my very first band project when I was like 14, and then had a first proper thrash band called Genocide in 2007, I think. And then we had also a crossover experimental band called Beer Pressure back then. And then I went started a classical heavy metal project which is still on called Lucifer. And then I played like a rock and rollish heavy metal band, and I had another black metal solo project and another speed thrash band. And now I'm finally here. I think I've always tried to find a place or a style where I feel sounds a little, maybe it sounds too high, but sound where I feel complete, where I feel as a
Yeah,
whole. And yeah, now I'm definitely at that point where I think I can all the things I like, I can combine them to one finally, and that feels absolutely amazing. And funnily, I uh, I ended up where I started. The sound we're playing right now is not too far away from my very first band.
that's pretty awesome. And I feel like almost in everything that we do, it it ends up coming full circle. We start somewhere because that's where our heart is at that time, and eventually we come back to it because
Yeah.
our heart never leaves off of that,
Mhm. Yeah, happens a lot. Yeah, you're right.
for sure. So I black you do black metal too?
No, I did like the more first wavy version of black metal, but I tried to do that too. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I tried all the things.
Yeah. And obviously, right, like this where you're at now is where what you were just saying, feeling most comfortable, um,
Yeah, definitely.
allows you to be very creative, I assume.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The most creative I've ever been, I think. Yeah. Also, in the last 2 years, my creativity is growing more and more. It's a great feeling. I always, of course, there are moments like almost I'm gonna be 33 or 2 this year. And there are also moments where I think, okay, where is this leading, and how long am I going to do this? But it's amazing to feel that there is still so much creativity there, and as long as I'm feeling that, I'm absolutely happy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, as you should be, right? I think anytime that you can get something out, on paper, musically, whatever, um, it helps you feel alive. Uh-oh, did I lose you? There you are.
Ah, hi, hi.
I was like, uh-oh, you were like frozen.
Yeah, I was still hearing you, but
Okay.
perfect.
I was like, oh shit, he's gone. Uh, so, uh, have you, I know Sentinels just came out. However, have you started writing or, since you're so creative, do you constantly write?
Mhm.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I did.
yeah.
I just started demo tracking 3 tracks yesterday.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've like of course like the last record songs for Sentinels have been written in summer 2020. So there have been 2 years of a little gap. But yeah, there's like ideas for a lot of songs, and 3 are done, and I'm starting to demo track them. Just feeling like it
Yeah.
already, and having a great time. And I asked the others if it's okay if we start, and then they said yes. So why not?
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's gonna end up lasting for years anyway. Like well, once we all are able to gather and do this properly, it's gonna end up being a long-term thing anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely not like we're gonna sit down today and write the album and record it tomorrow,
Nah, not at all.
you
Not at
know.
all. No.
That would be, I mean, that would be too easy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Way too easy.
How far do you guys all live in the same area?
No, not at all. It's at least 1 hour of drive for everyone. For like if I want to meet 2 of them, it's 1 hour. If I want to meet Leo, it's 2 hours, and if I want to meet Gerion, it's 3 hours. So we don't rehearse that often. It's like we meet if we all meet together, it's for the concerts, and we rehearse like 4 or 5 times a year. Basically, we get the set list set up and rehearse the set list 2 or 3 times, and then we're done. And when there is like a gap and we need to like redo it before the next shows, we meet again. But that's basically all we are able to do. So it would be
Wow.
amazing if we all live in the same city and could do this once a week or something like other bands. That's not we're not able to do so.
Well, I think a
But
lot of,
we managed to deal with it though. So we're rely on each other very much to practice at home properly, and
yeah.
that works very well.
Well, so at least you all have that trust where we know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Everyone's gonna practice on their own. But with all the technology today, I feel like there are a lot more bands who are doing what you guys are doing, right? Everyone lives
yeah, yeah,
further apart and they all practice on their own,
yeah,
which is I think it's really good for the live show because because the song's not going to veer off too much, you know what I mean?
yeah. Definitely, definitely. You won't overplay those. Yeah,
No, not at all.
yeah.
Um, so let's say over the next 2 years, I know you guys all have your own lives. What do you hope comes of the band and the music?
Leaving the continent finally, no matter where. I would really like to play outside of Europe. I'd love to play the US. I would love to play South America. I would love to play Japan, for example. That would be absolutely amazing. Play big festivals. Uh, feel creative enough to do a fifth record. And yeah, besides that, I'm absolutely happy with the way things are running right now. It's absolutely amazing. After 9 years, that we're still the same 4 or 5 people, and managed to accomplish so much in that time. And I just want to continue like that. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God, good for you. That is so fucking awesome. So, and I think it's great that where you guys are, you have the same group of people. I feel like all too much bands, they have the same core people, like just as far as big names go, right? I'll say Metallica because you've got James and Lars, and of course Kirk, I think would be the next one. But then,
Yeah,
bass, you've had Jason and of course
yeah,
Cliff
yeah,
and
yeah,
now
yeah,
Rob. But and then Slayer, right? You've got Carrie and Tom. Like everyone just kind of most bands
yeah.
have core
I
people.
think, yeah, yeah. I think at one point there are good reasons for lineup changes, obviously,
Yeah,
but if you're able to make it as one, that's absolutely amazing. And I think it's always when bands are struggling, and I think when bands are throwing out members or having lineup changes or whatsoever, it's because they have might maybe fail to do compromises and say, okay, if we want to do this together, we need to wait for him, or we need to adjust things so he can, so I can, like, and that's what we do for at least most of the times, and say, okay, how can we five people make this year, for example, and that's a great thing, and I think this is also what glues this thing together.
yeah. Well, and it sounds like, from what you were explaining, that you guys are all really, really close, really good friends, which, that's got to really help because when you have this situation, you've got to be able to have those tough conversations, right? Like, what do we
Yeah,
really want to have from it?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, you need to be able to talk
Yeah,
properly and be able to express yourself and be able to listen to others. And this is the most important part of being in a band.
for sure. Absolutely. Any relationship, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
The most important part, you gotta talk. If you're not willing
yeah,
to talk, that shit's gonna bubble up and boil over.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, so, all right, Stefan, I don't want to keep you, right? We're pushing on, I don't know, 40, 45 minutes now.
Mhm.
I greatly, greatly appreciate you taking time out of your day to come hang out and chat with me and talk about the band. I'm super excited for everything that happens for you guys. Keep rocking out, dude.
Yeah, you're welcome, and was fun. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Thanks, dude. Have a great day.
Have a good night. Bye bye.
Bye.